Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for another episode today. This is going to cover a few additions to a set pursuit that I've been working on as one of my many projects in recent years. These are some cards that were included, I believe, in the Topps Archives release back in 2013, and they are the Gallery of Heroes insert cards. So I have here the Cal Ripken Jr., which is a card I've shown on the channel in the past. What's great about these, if you're not familiar, these are a throwback to Gallery of Heroes inserts that existed in the Topps Gallery product in the 90s. Late 90s, they had these in at least baseball and I believe football as well, maybe even basketball. Not much of a basketball collector, but I know they had baseball and football. And if you've never seen these, they're fantastic because they're acetate, but in a different way. They almost have an effect that makes them look like stained glass windows. And as nice as this Ripken looks, which I've shown again on the channel previously, I'm going to take out my trusty mini light here, mini reading lamp, and show you that when you give these some backlighting, they really look like something that you'd see in the window of a church. And so if we do that here with the Ripken, you can see just how amazing that looks with backlighting. If you hold these cards up against the sky on a bright day, or put them in your window, they're simply stunning. Some of the nicest looking inserts that Topps treated us to in all of the 2010s, in my opinion. I would list, for the 2010s, my favorite parallel would be the Cognac Diamond Anniversary, but my favorite insert card from the 2010s might well be these Gallery of Heroes inserts from Topps Archives. So we'll kill that backlight for a moment. Just wanted to show that Ripken. And again, that's one that I have displayed on the channel in the past, I think when I was doing a video response on nice looking cards. But I have a few others. So I've been trying to pursue this set, and I've accumulated others over the years that I have not yet shown on the channel. So I have 5 of them here to cover in today's video. First up, Albert Pujols of the LA Angels at the time. These all have the same design on them, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time discussing it. The stained glass element that's in use on each is slightly different. They'll have different colors or different designs on the border. Although actually, now that I say it, I think the design is the same. It's just the color that changes of the different panels to kind of match the team layout, or in some cases like this one doesn't even necessarily match, but still looks really nice. So there's one of his generation's premier hitters in Pujols. And what's nice about these, the gallery cards that came out in the late 90s only had active players in the set. What I love about the 2013 release from Topps is it included both active and retired players. So obviously, Cal Ripken Jr., who we saw at the outset of the video, was not playing in the year 2013, but was included in the set. Next up, we've got Miguel Cabrera. So pretty nice Miggy card here. And at the time that I got these, I accumulated most of these a year or two ago, maybe a little bit longer. You could find these for, maybe $5 or certainly less than 10 of at least most of these guys. I don't know if they've gone up since then or become any harder to track down with the passage of time, but there's Miggy. So a couple nice sluggers there in Pujols and Cabrera, 2 of the premier hitters of their generation. And then the final 3 that I have today are retired players, like I alluded to, that were featured on the checklist for this set. First up, the left arm of God, Sandy Koufax himself. So that is a beauty. Love me some Koufax. Do have a couple of his vintage cards that I'll show at some point. And I've obviously shown the rookie, which I was so happy to land earlier this year. But as far as like modern, non-playing era Koufax cards, that one's got to be one of my favorites. Just an absolute beauty. I forget, I should have looked it up before the video, but I want to say there are like 12 cards total in this set. So I think we're looking at maybe 15. So we're looking at, 40 to 50% of a complete set in today's video. Next up, Red Sox favorite, the Splendid Splinter himself, Ted Williams. This one's an obvious favorite of mine as a Red Sox fan, but I mean, I'm just droning on at this point, but suffice it to say, these cards are just absolutely gorgeous. I love that Topps, put in the effort to have these created. was probably not easy or cheap to print these up. They're very prone to damage. So you can kind of see along the bottom of this Ted Williams, some of the black is missing or sort of worn off. That is the case with nearly every single one of these that I've ever seen. I think they came out of the packs with edgeware by default. They are extremely condition sensitive, but every one that I have at least has, no issues or flaws with the main image or any of the stained glass. It's really just the very edges of the border where you see some chipping on occasion, but I wouldn't shy away from these if you see that. They're rare enough and cool enough that it doesn't really matter if they're perfect. They're worth picking up, especially if you can get them at a good price. And then the last card that I have for today, we saw a Red Sox slugger in Ted Williams. Next, we'll look at a Yankees player. Check out this Yogi Berra to close things out. So arguably the greatest catcher of all time, certainly in the conversation, alongside Campanella and Bench and others. But just love the look of that one as I do all of these. So that's a wrap for today's video. Sorry for the bright light there, but you can kind of see when you get these all together just how cool of an insert set this is. Really on a path to complete this entire thing, and have a couple others that I wasn't able to wrangle up in time for today's video that I'll show probably in a future installment. But hopefully today you enjoyed these Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers. Definitely a great job by Topps on doing something a little bit different and creating a unique insert set that doesn't rely on, recycling a Topps design of old like they seem to do these days. So really give them credit for that, and happy that I've been fortunate enough to accumulate as many of those as I have. So that's a wrap for today. We'll keep it short and sweet. Really appreciate you stopping by to check these out, and let me know in the comments below what you think of these if you've never seen them before. And if you're into them, I would highly recommend trying to pick up one of your favorite player or favorite team. But yeah, for now, we'll call it there. Appreciate everybody's time, and we'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care.